How could such a state of affairs occur in the United States, land of the free? It is because, as the German philosopher Goethe said, none are so hopelessly enslaved as those who falsely believe they are free. To look for the source of such appalling conditions in America, one need only look to the top and at who is really running the country and the globe as a whole. Oligarchs vie for control of Oceania and merely step back to be replaced by another elite power group in their stance. One recent oligarch was that of the Bush family. George H.W. Bush and his family have had long Nazi links. When he first ran for president in 1988 as an addendum to his tyranny as vice president to Reagan, Bush Sr. was found to have in his employ campaign staffers who were also distributing neo-Nazi propaganda. Before the scandal could be dealt with, it was discovered that there were in fact a number of ex-Nazis on Bush's campaign staff, including Laszlo Pastor and Jaroslav Stetsko. Pastor was a member of the Hungarian Arrow Cross during World War II and served as an envoy to Nazi Germany. The Arrow Cross was known to be extremely violent even by the standards of their Nazi Axis partners. Stetsko served as the prime minister of the nascent Ukrainian puppet government. During the brief span of the control of this puppet dictatorship, over 100,000 Jews were slaughtered in Lvov. George Bush's lack of sensitivity to those who suffered in the Nazi extermination campaigns is exemplified by his employment of Fred Malloch, a well-known collaborator with former Nazis, in both his presidential campaigns. With his confirmation as president, George H.W. Bush placed his assets in a blind trust controlled by his close friend, William Stamps Farish III. Farish's grandfather, William Stamps Farish, sold the Japanese the gasoline used in the attack on Pearl Harbor. Likewise, the elder Farish supplied Hitler's armed forces with oil and tetraethyl lead. George Bush's father, Prescott, was close friends with the elder Farish and remained so even after the Farish Sr.'s testimony before Congress provoked Harry Truman, a Bohemian Grover like them, even to cry out, "This is treason." In fact, during the Second World War, Prescott Bush had 3 corporations taken from him for fraternizing with the Nazis. The Bush-Nazi nexus of connections stretches back to the end of the First World War. By 1916, industrialist August Thyssen could see that Imperial Germany had already been defeated in the Great War, and he was desperate to safeguard his family fortune. His eldest son had been brought up to captain the family steel business in the Ruhr. His second son, Heinrich, quietly altered his citizenship from German to Hungarian and married the Hungarian aristocrat Baroness Margaret Bornemisza de Caution. Near the end of the war, August Thyssen opened the Bank Voorhandel en Schifvaart in Rotterdam. Holland was a neutral country during the war, and the new bank would serve as the perfect location to launder funds from the Thyssen Bank in Berlin and protect his fortune from victorious Allied financial demands. At the end of the war, Heinrich, now going by the name of Baron Thyssen Bornemisza de Caution, moved to Rotterdam and became the principal owner of the Bank Voorhandel en Schifvaart. All that remained to be done in August Thyssen's plan was to set up an American bank. In 1922, Averell Harriman traveled to Germany to set up a branch of W.A. Harriman in Berlin. Harriman had hired George Herbert Walker, George Bush's grandfather, to run both the New York and Berlin branches of his expanding investment firm. During his stay in Germany, Harriman had met the Thyssen family and agreed to help the Thyssens set up an American bank. In 1923, Germany was in economic shambles, and Thyssen met with his friend General Ludendorff, who advised him that Germany's hope lay with Hitler and the Nazi Party. Thyssen soon became a financial backer of the Nazis and Hitler. Early in 1924, Hendrik J. Kuenhoven, the managing director of Bank Voorhandel en Schifvaart, traveled to New York. Meeting with Walker and the Harriman brothers, they founded the Union Banking Corporation. In 1926, August Thyssen died. The eldest son, Fritz, expanded the Thyssen empire by creating United Steel Works. Thyssen also brought Frederick Flick on board. The Thyssen-Flick Union was designed to suppress the Union movement. As a result of the merger of Thyssen and Flick, George Walker hired his son-in-law, Prescott Bush, to manage the United Steel Works account. One division of United Steel Works consisted of both Consolidated Silesian Steel Corporation and the Upper Silesian Coal and Steel Company. Both were located in the mineral-rich Silesian area of Poland. The arrangement was extremely profitable for all four men: Thyssen, Flick, Walker and Bush, until the Depression started in 1929. Congressional investigations after the war showed that United Steel had supplied 50.8% of the pig iron to Nazi Germany and likewise was a major supplier of all other ferrous-based metal products needed by Hitler's war machine. Hence, one of the largest munitions makers in Nazi Germany was funded by Prescott Bush, the father and grandfather of two future U.S. presidents. Due to the Depression, Harriman merged with Brown, forming the Brown Brothers and Harriman firm. Internally, the stock of Consolidated Silesian Steel Company was held by the Harriman 15 Corporation, formed by Harriman and Bush. 2/3 of the stock was owned by Flick. By 1934, with Hitler in solid control of Germany, the profits from the Thyssen-Flick union soared to over $100 million. Both Union Bank and the Bank Vorhandel and Schifart were overflowing with money. Prescott Bush became managing director of Union Bank and took over the day-to-day operations of the German plan. In 1939, the Nazis invaded Poland, ending a dispute over taxes between Consolidated and the Polish government. The Nazis' original plan was to replace the workers in Polish factories with Soviet prisoners. However, that portion of the Hitler-Stalin agreement was never implemented. Consolidated Silesian Steel Corporation was located near the Polish town of Oświęcim. When the plan to use Soviet prisoners as forced labor fell through, the Nazis began shipping Jews, communists, gypsies and other minority populations to the camp the Nazis had set up. This was the beginning of Auschwitz. The reason Auschwitz was located there was because of the abundant supplies of coal which could be processed into aviation fuel. IG Farben soon built a plant near Auschwitz to take advantage of not only of the nearby coal deposits but also of the slave labor supply available at Auschwitz. According to a Dutch intelligence agent, Prescott Bush managed a portion of the slave labor force in Poland. Thus we can see the circumstances that have led us up to now. In fact, the federal government is infested with creepy old ex-Nazi war criminals still floating around from Operation Paperclip, while neo-Nazis spring anew from the dustbin of history. Even with the installation of a new Afro-American president, it appears not just anyone can reach for that position. There is a series of barriers and jockeying for position that comes from the right secret societies that you needed to attend at Ivy League colleges that the average man could never send his children to. Mysterious and hidden secret societies such as Yale's Skull and Bones fraternity turn out successive leaders such as John Kerry, Prescott Bush, George H.W. Bush and George W. Bush. Other groups such as the shadowy Bohemian Grove just outside of San Francisco have no political alignment and is a big all-male party for both political groups at their summer encampments, complete with $1,000 an hour male prostitutes privately jetted in. Attendance is strictly patrilineal and women are not welcome. Hence the American political system has become a great septic tank, where the biggest chunks invariably float to the top.